Welcome to the Udder Twaddle podcast. I am Cowpatty.
I'm Calmando.
And this is episode 7.
Yes.
And pardon me if you hear any noise in the background. We have a couple of rowdy dogs today.
Yeah, they're kind of bouncing all over the room and rustling. And
Since the weather dipped down, it got a little cold, so we can't leave them outside. So if you hear snoring or fighting or playing, they're just two large dogs, and they get a little heavy.
Yeah.
On the floor.
And knock stuff over and... yeah, generally make a lot of noise.
Generally, yeah. Speaking of making a lot of noise, this is our episode. We're going to talk about music related to television. And not MTV related to television. Not that kind of music television.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the rise of a lot of television based on music. I mean, it started with American Idol, Voice, etc., this kind of things. But what got us on this conversation was the Super Bowl had just come out. And during the end of the Super Bowl, they had all these commercials for this new World's Best show with hosted by James Corden and Faith Hill and RuPaul and Drew Barrymore. And they were going to have like these amazing performances.
Yes, supposedly, advertised as the world's best.
And the performances were fantastic. I will not deny that whatsoever. But we only watched the first episode.
Great performances.
But you can tell by the flavor of the first episode, it wasn't going to be a show we liked.
No. There was a lot of forced... suspense.
It was like, are they going to make their points?
Yeah.
And there was like this intentionally long pause.
The judging is based on a point system, up to 100 points. 50 points can be given between the celebrity judges, like she said, Drew Barrymore or RuPaul.
Yeah, and then they've got these international experts on different things, like stuntsmen and musicians and producers and that kind of thing, and they're the ones that give a point apiece. So there's 50 of them.
And if they liked it, they could give a point. And to move on to the next stage of the competition, they have to get at least 75 points.
Just like passing any exam in college, you have to have the 75 or above.
And they would reveal, what the celebrity judges gave, and then give the international experts an opportunity to cast their votes and give points, and then they would kind of count up the point total. And every single time, when they would start getting close to that 75 mark, the points would slow down. Like they weren't sure if the judges were going to
are you not going to
give
make
them
it?
a point, and whether or not they're going to make it or not make it.
It was very artificial.
Yes.
And that was just, it lost its, But the performances, like I said, were fantastic. You had a violinist, I forgot where she was from, but it's Minami Ito, and she's from Japan. Mm-hmm. And she was a violinist who worked over her struggles, the fact that she doesn't have a right arm to play violin. She's using like a robotic arm.
She had learned to play violin at a very young age, and I don't remember if it was...
I don't remember if it was a disease or an accident, but she lost her arm.
Somehow she lost her right arm.
And that's key for a violinist.
And she ended up, with a prosthetic arm, and her mother, encouraged her to keep playing. To keep trying, and she plays very well for...
It's a very inspirational story, and if there's a YouTube video out there with her on, I would encourage you to watch it. It was moving. It was really great.
It was a really good performance.
And then they had this other guy that was from Mongolia.
The Mongolian.
That did not speak a lick of English whatsoever, didn't understand it at all, and he just made a 180, blew people's minds by singing a George Strait song.
Amarillo by Morning, yes.
That's wrong.
In English.
Yes. With an accent.
With, the perfect, southern, twang to it as he was singing.
Beautiful performance, but completely he learned it by imitation. Yes. Basically.
And that's what it was. It was an imitation performance because he didn't understand a single word
behind it.
Of the song, has no idea what he was singing, but...
Yeah. But it was good.
Oh, yeah.
But the straw that broke the camel's back in the show was the ending, because you had a performance of a magician that was like one of those escape artists.
Houdini style.
Yeah, Houdini style. And they cut off the performance. Will he make it out alive at the end? And you have to come back on Wednesday to watch it. And I went,
for part 2.
That's bull.
Yeah.
That is complete bull. Just,
Which, I mean, for, in the context of the show with all of the, forced suspense of the points, it makes sense, for them to leave the show at a suspenseful, cliffhanger.
But did you ever have a cliffhanger in American Idol? Or did you ever have a cliffhanger in any other contest show? No, you wrapped up the show and you come back the next week because you want to see what people bring to the table. That was the whole point. You like to see what people bring to the table. You like to see people's performances.
Whether it's American Idol or Dancing with the Stars.
You don't need a forced suspense. You don't need forced...
Any of the, cooking competition shows, you wrap up...
You wrap it up and you go, enjoy this, come back next time.
Yeah.
That's what completely just made me mad. So we had this long discussion about it and we were like, that's not the kind of show we want to watch. What we've been interested in seeing lately is we've been seeing commercials for The Masked Singer. And
I've been seeing commercials for it for
a while.
Like even back before Christmas, we were seeing commercials, of when it was supposed to start, and it looked really cool.
I just thought it would be fun. Well, but first off, you're going to get a good performance and you're going to get amazing costumes. And we went and watched it. And yes, you get freaking amazing costumes. And these people are anonymous from start to finish the moment they get on studio and off. Nobody knows who's in it until
if you've seen the show, you know what we're talking about. If you haven't seen it or haven't heard of it, it's a celebrity singing competition.
But it doesn't have to be like...
All of the contestants are celebrities of some sort. They're not necessarily professional singers.
No.
They could be actors, singers,
sports
athletes,
people.
Professional celebrity athletes,
comedians,
some sort of celebrity, right?
Yeah.
And they have these elaborate costumes, all animal-based costumes, and the costume designer is friggin' genius. I mean, they're beautiful, beautiful costumes.
Well, they distort the voices a little bit during the interviews.
Not during the performance.
No, not during the performance.
Interviews. So that you can't tell by, the interview who it is.
Yeah. But that was the key for me. Like, as I listened
all the interviews sound like they're interviewing the chipmunks.
Yeah, it's kind of like a chipmunk. But everybody has a certain way they talk. Either certain verbiage they use, a slight accent, like a pattern to their voice. And that's how I guess the two people that I guessed.
And physical mannerisms
yeah.
The way they move, the way they walk,
And you pick up those
whether they hand
clues.
gesture a lot, if they talk with their hands or...
And this show, it is like a constant guessing game because they do give you clues every single week. An extra, in the video package, you'll see an image or... You'll see a name or a title or something that will...
Or they'll give you a clue of, either something they're interested in or...
And the hosts guessed along with everybody else. And it's Ken Jeong and Robin Thicke-headed... Never mind, I'm going to go there. Jenny... Is it Jenny McCarthy?
Jenny McCarthy, Wahlberg.
And who's...
Because she's...
They don't say Wahlberg, though.
It's on whenever they flash up her name.
Oh, do they really?
Jenny McCarthy,
I never noticed that. Okay. And, what's the other girl? From, she's so talented, too. Is she from Pussycat Dolls?
Yep.
What is her name?
Nicole Scherzinger.
Thank you.
From the Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah. I love her. I think she's really talented.
Oh, yeah, she is.
I have no problem with this.
They're the 4 celebrity... Judges. Not really judges.
They're guessers.
Yeah.
It's
they're not really judging
guessers.
anything. They're trying to guess.
Yeah, they're all literally just going, I think it might be this person, or it might be this person, or it might be this person. And some of the guesses are really dumb. Like, I'm like, I don't even know where you got that idea from. That makes no sense whatsoever. But during the packages where you'll see us... I mean, if you were flying the room, you would see us yelling at the TV, going, "It's so and so! Oh my god, I know it's so and so!"
Yeah, we were getting excited, shouting out who we thought it was, and
you only get a reveal of one person a show.
At the end of the show, who they
4 to 5, 6 people perform depending on the show, but you only get one reveal. So the next week you get more clues than everybody else.
The lowest performer. The first few episodes, they had 3 performances.
We're not going to spoil anything here. I'm not going to say anything on who they are.
They would pair up 2 contestants head to head and have them perform, and then they would get votes on who they thought was the better performer of the 2. The better performer moves on,
and again, you're not getting professional
lower voted
singers,
performer is in jeopardy. And at the end of the show, you've got the 3 lowest performing, out of those, 3 comparisons. And then they would vote on who the worst of those three were. And that's the person that gets unmasked at the end of the episode.
And it's a lot of fun. I mean, it really is. So it kind of got me thinking about different shows that we're, interested in seeing. And, every show that involves music is somewhat a little more enjoyable for us because we both love music. So.
Oh, yeah. If you listen to, the previous podcasts, that, we're big music fans.
And, I'm okay with watching shows like America's Got Talent and stuff like that. Or, the British version of the shows or the Eurovision, shows. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I used to work for a Fox television station, so...
Well, you used to work for an ABC station, too.
Well, that was back, a few years further. But that was an ABC affiliate. The Fox station was actually owned and operated by the Fox network. But, at work, I, had direct access to, the earlier seasons of American Idol.
Oh, so you get to watch those?
So, yeah, we, ended up watching them, in the evenings while we were, prepping the news and things like that. So I had, kind of seen, 2 or 3 seasons of American Idol. I saw the season that Carrie Underwood won.
Oh, yeah.
And that sort of, singing competition show is okay if that's what you're into. Same with, The Voice. We watched a few episodes of one of the seasons of The Voice because it seemed like it was a bit different because, your judges have their back to the performer and are going based on just what they hear.
When it comes to American Idol, to me, that's like going out to karaoke. You're watching somebody you've never seen before sing a song, giving your first impression. But when you listen to The Voice is literally you're judging them initially just on their voice.
Right.
And then you're going to work with the rest of it.
What they look like, what their image is, how they perform it, you're judging based on what you're hearing.
But then the further on they go in the show, it is based on your image and everything else involved that you get with American Idol. They're going to shape you into a brand name or some type.
Which is, as we've said in the past, kind of the downside of modern music.
Yeah. That they take away from... Sometimes they take away from the music more and go for the image more. And that's just annoying. Mm-hmm. And pardon my scratchy voice a bit. I woke up a little bit on the wrong side of the bed, so...
a bit hoarse.
So...
Like she said earlier, the temperature has dropped around here. We don't really get true winter here in Texas, but it has
when the
gotten down to about the freezing level. I mean, we rarely get snow or ice or anything like that, but the temperatures will dip, and as such, you end up, waking up with occasional congestion and sore throat.
But anyway, we in sort of that competition stance of things, I would much rather watch stuff like Lip Sync Battle, because it's just for fun. It's not meant to be a serious, I'm going to make money from my career, sort of thing. It's literally just for fun.
Yeah, and then, watching The Masked Singer, we, got to talking about...
Those are already celebrities,
the types of, musical shows, like I said, with American Idol and The Voice, that, we really weren't huge, fans of.
But...
we got to talking about other musical shows, Well,
yeah, and you've got musical shows that's, just for fun. And... so the musical shows that are just for fun that we tend to catch on to is Lip Sync Battle and Drop the Mic or something.
Yes.
Because it's just a ball. And
both
I think
shows that have really I think they both spawned off late night talk shows.
Yeah, because the Drop the Mics was James Corden's thing. He was always into the Drop the Mics, but Jimmy Fallon was all about Lip Sync Battle. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember if you... seen some of the ones on Jimmy Fallon, but those are hilarious. And it's him and someone else competing.
Yeah.
So.
But the shows have spawned off.
But
Lip Sync Battle is on
Spike.
On Spike.
Yeah, with LL Cool J and Chrissy Teigen.
And
this is the first time I ever saw Chrissy Teigen, believe it or not, and she is hilarious.
Oh, she is. She is silly, and I love her. She's a big social media star. She's huge on Twitter.
I had to dig her up and look into that
and she's married to John Legend.
I know she's. That's a couple. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Lip Sync Battle is on Spike. But Drop the Mic is on TBS.
Yeah.
To give those networks, credit for their shows.
Oh, yeah. And, Drop the Mic is fun. And so is Lip Sync Battle. And
Yeah, there have been some...
Didn't write down who hosts that one. I forgot.
Epic battles on both shows.
On both shows. Okay, so... the one Lip Sync Battle that really kind of got me hooked to watching them was... let me think which one it was. It was probably the Wrecking Ball one with Anne Hathaway and...
Yeah, the Lip Sync Battle. Yeah, it was Anne Hathaway and...
Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was... Anne Hathaway's a card. I mean, she's a really light-hearted person.
Can be fairly goofy whenever, they want to be.
I mean, I liked her in some of her earlier movies and stuff, but when I saw her in her interviews whenever she was going to be Catwoman, she talked about how much of a Catwoman fan she was, and that kind of... I grew a bond to her because I love Catwoman. And so when I saw her in her lip sync battle, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to check this out. And she literally came out with like a wrecking ball hanging from the ceiling and jumped on it and went after that performance in a way that is really epically awesome.
It was hilarious. Probably my favorite of the lip sync battles was the Channing Tatum going against his wife, Jenna Dewan Tatum.
Oh my God. Okay, first off, Channing Tatum. I might be the only woman in the world who hasn't seen Magic Mike, but his wife did a Magic Mike inspired performance.
Yes.
That you can see his face turning red.
Yes.
He is so embarrassed by it, but at the same time is laughing so hysterically because it doesn't look like something he was prepared for.
No, and I mean, she completely turned the tables on him.
That it was a complete surprise and made him laugh so much. Like, just a genuine, oh, this is funny performance.
He enjoyed it, but yeah, you could tell, because she was putting him on the spot, basically recreating, I'm guessing, was one of his performances in Magic Mike.
Yeah.
But his performances, he came out for one of his performances in a blue dress, dressed as Elsa, doing a Frozen number.
He went complete cross-dress on both performances.
Yes.
Which was, it's pretty funny when you watch it. I love guys that are confident enough to do that.
Yes, his big showstopper performance at the end of the show was a Beyonce performance.
Yes.
That had me, literally laughing out loud. It was so hilariously funny.
Who won the world? Girls.
Great performance.
It was
as
so
people
awesome.
that, have no shame, that have, that
he had the hair
get
extensions.
Embarrassed easily. Yeah, he come out in this long, Beyonce wig and...
Oh, it was great.
Like, the tights and, bustier, sort of thing.
Just, hi, puppy.
Full outfit that have, no problems embarrassing themselves, for the performance.
And, it's not uncommon for the actual performers of these songs to come step out, but when Beyonce walks out next to Channing Tatum and he blinks, it's just the funniest moment.
Yeah.
It is just hilarious.
There have been, it's not uncommon for some of the actual performers to come out on lip sync battles and perform with, the celebrity contestant.
Yeah, like when Zoe Saldana did the No Scrubs.
Yes.
And she put on like the glasses with the condom on the front, like Left Eye did.
Uh-huh.
And both the other ladies from TLC came out.
TLC came out and performed with her. Yes.
I was all choked up. I was like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. It was so awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. But she was playing against Zachary Quinto in that one. And he blew my mind. Mainly because of when lip sync battle is, they play the song and you have to lip sync to it. Some people do know all the words and some people don't. You kind of can tell when they're faking it. He knew every freaking word.
Well, they tend to pair up people that...
And he was singing Get Your Freak On.
Pardon me. Are either friends in real life, or in this case, it was Zachary Quinto, and, they were in Star Trek.
They were in Star Trek together, so they know each other. They've been hanging around. And...
had worked together. So they'll either pick people that have, done movies together or are real life good friends.
Yeah.
Such as the Emily Blunt, Anne Hathaway. They're real life friends.
Yeah, and that makes it a lot more fun. Because they're really challenging, a friend to one-up another friend.
The Channing Tatum and, Jenna Dewan Tatum are married. And, they're a couple. So they, were taking it kind of personal, against each other. One of the others that I really have enjoyed was Tom Holland and Zendaya.
Tom Holland, plays the new Spider-Man. And she's Mary Jane. The Mary Jane, which they haven't really had any romantics in the movies yet.
According to the trailers for
it's going to start developing,
next one,
I think.
it could start developing.
But if you've never seen if there's chemistry between the two of them before, watch the lip sync battle, because you can see that they tease each other a lot. They enjoy each other's company a lot.
You can tell they've enjoyed working together.
Yes. So I think that's going to be Spider-Man. Great as far as the Spider-Man movie goes. But
Tom Holland's performance, he starts off, with a sort of singing in the rain.
He starts off singing in the rain, and
then
all of a sudden he goes behind a bunch of umbrellas, and then he goes and basically strips down into how you want to explain it, a very Rocky Horror look.
Yeah.
And with an umbrella, and then does the umbrella song, and.
I mean, he got into the performance. I mean, he was,
he went all out. Complete
flipping
passion.
And twisting and jumping around on stage. And
they had water falling down in a waterfall, and he was splashing around. And oh my God, it was so hilarious. I was falling over on the couch laughing. And you can see quite a few of these on YouTube. So if you want to look them up.
Oh, yeah. You can
definitely
pull up,
look them up.
I don't think you can find the full episodes. But
they have the individual performances.
You can find, individual performance clips.
One of the cool things about watching the full episode, though, is getting some of the commentary from LL Cool J, and he can get embarrassed.
Oh, yeah.
I've never... I mean, he seems like a tough, fun guy. And it would be probably somebody you'd have a great conversation with.
Well, yeah, because I don't think he or Chrissy Teigen know what the performances... Well, they know. I think they know ahead of time what the songs are that are being performed.
They might have a clue, but
they don't know about
the
choreography and what the actual performance that's been put together.
Because their reactions are very natural, so they definitely
come across, very shocked,
And that's the thing about a lot of these shows is I like to see a natural reaction. I don't like to see forced suspense, like we were talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see artificial, oh, this is going to be so good. I want to see somebody going, oh my God, what the...
Yes.
Oh,
where jaws, drop.
Complete jaw drop. I want to see real reactions. I want to see, a natural... I mean, okay, acting is one thing. Acting is pretend. Yes, I get that. But they're seasoned actors that can make it look natural. That's fine. But when a show tries to make things artificially suspenseful, that pisses me off.
Yeah.
And
even more so whenever it's done so poorly, you can tell that it's forced.
Yeah.
That it's all completely staged.
But on the flip side, when it comes to, the lip sync battles, they set it up to be hilarious. And I'm sure the producers are like, okay, we're going to do this first, and then we're going to do this second, and we're going to do this third, and then you people go over and practice over here, you people go practice over here. But the hosts are just going to host, and they have completely, ad-libbed notes as they go along.
And if you haven't seen it, they usually have 3 performances each per show.
2 each. They start off and they do 1 performance that's like not their big
Well, I've seen
bonanza.
Some that, were 3, where, I mean, they just start off sort of in whatever, they started the show wearing for a lip sync. And then
I think they died it down. They started with 3 maybe, but they've mainly done 2.
And then they would do a costumed,
like a full costume production performance.
And then,
at the end.
their third performance, was their big showstoppers with backup dancers and, all the bells and whistles.
I could swear it was 2. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen Lynn
Yeah.
live.
I thought it was 3, but I could be wrong. It's happened once or twice.
But okay, so what was the other ones that I was thinking of? One of the other odd ones that we've seen is it Malin Ackerman?
Malin Ackerman.
And Stephen Merchant. Stephen Merchant's a funny dude.
Yes.
He's a quirky,
very
nerdy type.
tall, thin, lanky
Yeah.
British, comedian and actor.
And I like him in everything I see him in.
He played Caliban in Logan. The Old Man Wolverine.
Played the old
movie.
man.
He was actually under the makeup and played Caliban.
Yeah, and you could recognize his voice anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
When you see him or hear him or whatever. But Malin did this like talk dirty to me performance that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But Stephen outdid her.
Yes.
He came out in leather chaps.
Yeah,
And
and sort
really
of black
tight
leather,
shirt.
black leather,
And
tighties
he sang dirty.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite part of that whole performance is the ending. Is like his quote was like, there was a time before this and a time after this, and you can never go back.
Yeah.
Like once you've seen this performance,
You can't
unsee it.
No. Yeah.
Which is pretty much a quote for just about any of these performances. When you after you see them, you might never look at these celebrities the same again.
Yeah. And I mean, some of them are really fun and energetic. Mm-hmm. And others are just, like I said, come out of nowhere. You would have never expected, like I said, Channing Tatum, Beyonce, performance.
You would never
I would have never seen that coming.
No.
That just comes completely out of left field.
What? Yeah, that's the kind of moment you have. Mm-hmm. But it's worth it. It is very worth it. Just look it up. But on the flip side, we're talking about like lip sync battle. Lip sync battle is not... it depends on what you think of as music, but rap is a form of music and a form of, entertainment. So I still count lip sync battle as kind of a music blended show that we're this sort of
lip
thing.
sync battle is just that. Is lip
or not
sync.
lip sync, but
I think you're thinking of Drop the Mic.
Drop the Mic is...
Yes.
Yeah, is what I was thinking. I was like, that Drop the Mic is...
free-form, free-flowing sort of rap battle.
Although I suspect they come up with their own script ahead of time.
I
script
would
theirs
not doubt
or write
it,
them down or something ahead of time.
That they kind of,
because
have
it's
some of
fairly
it
much the same
pre-planned.
beat every time. And it's not like... it's not like an instant rap battle you'd get anywhere else. It's pre-planned. So you know who you're against. And you know who you're going to, rap against.
Yeah, you know who you're going up against, so you've got time to kind of plan, what you're going to throw at them.
It's kind of like a rap roast, because you really are just roasting this other person.
Exactly. And I mean, some of those, there's, some good, really funny ones, and some just get kind of brutal.
Oh, they get pretty mean.
Shaquille O'Neal and Kim Jong went head to head on one.
Ken was great.
They got, brutal on each other.
Yeah.
Talking about,
Shaq's weight.
Yeah, about size and not just, height, but...
And how much he endorses people?
Sizes of other areas.
Yeah, they did some measuring verbally.
Yeah.
And, Ken's a short guy.
Really funny,
If you don't know Ken Jeong, he used to be a doctor.
He was an actual doctor.
He was an actual doctor.
He's one of the judges on The Masked Singer.
Yeah. And he used to be in
But he was in all the Hangover movies and everything, and
he's got his own show.
I think he's got his own
sitcom,
well. Like Dr. Kim or something like that. But yeah, he's a pretty funny dude.
Yeah, I like him. He's a naturally funny guy. When you go out and you talk to somebody who's just naturally funny, they absorb you in their conversation. You just get sucked in. I love those kind of people. I wish I had that kind of personality that is just naturally funny. But I don't see myself as that kind of person. I don't.
Can be from time to time.
Occasionally.
Not always, but yeah.
Once in a while. Oh, what else? There was one floating around Facebook just recently, and that was the Muppets.
Yes.
Doing a Drop the Mic, which obviously is them just
Kermit
reading
versus
it
Miss Piggy.
And Pepe.
Pepe was on Kermit's side, and Beaker was on Miss Piggy's side.
I loved the fact when he was talking about Beaker looked like I don't know if I don't want to misquote this, but it sounded like the bastard son of Carrot Top.
It looked like a pencil with its eraser on fire.
Yeah, there was some really great lines in there that I think were awesome. So
some very funny stuff. And there have been some surprises in that one too.
Yeah,
Dr. Phil.
You know what? I don't necessarily like watching Dr. Phil, the show.
Yeah. But
he surprised me on Drop the Mic.
That he did.
I was kind of speechless. He was pretty rough.
Yeah, he got out and went, kind of brutal.
He was mean. Who was
Jerry Springer was kind of surprising. And I'm trying to remember who... Jerry Springer went up against Ricky Lake.
Yeah.
Didn't he? It was
so.
Springer versus Ricky Lake. That was...
And Dr. Phil was against James Corden.
Was he?
Yeah.
I could not remember.
But it was on. It wasn't on his show. It was actually on the new
on the Drop the Mic show.
Drop the Mic show.
Because I remembered Dr.
I expected
Phil's
James
performance
Corden
being,
to win, but
pretty brutal. But no,
Phil kind of got mad.
Yeah, eviscerated him.
That one's a good one. The one that I saw was Pentatonics at Belle Biv DeVoe. Yeah. That was really cool too.
That was a good one.
And they sort of lashed out on each other on who's a better singer, and who's a real singer or not a real singer.
Pardon me.
Or who's old school and has been, and I was like, oh my god, they ripped into each other.
Well, Boys to Men did one as well against
Rascal Flatts.
Yeah, it was Rascal Flatts. Mm-hmm. And
that was a good one too.
They went after each other, and that was a really good one. I mean, because both sides just.
And we're not gonna tell you who won. I mean, I'm not gonna spoil that, but
go look them up. Look up the episodes. Look up the videos.
It's entertaining.
And see for yourselves. But yeah, it was really entertaining.
Wasn't there one that was it was Boy Meets World versus Jerry Maguire, basically. It was that young kid,
Danielle Fishel from Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
Against Jonathan Lipnicki from Jerry Maguire. And they kind of, went at each other, as...
That was just fun. I thought that was fun, just fun.
Taunting between, apparently friends.
Yeah.
They know each other and are friends. Because, they were attacking each other for has-been careers and, how they haven't been on the air in, how many years and,
Stuff like that.
Like that. Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
Famous lines about the human head weighing 8 pounds and, from Jerry Maguire and some really entertaining stuff.
There's been a lot of good shows that are all about, music and stuff like that, or enjoyable blends of music and entertainment.
Fun music-based shows. Not full-on competition, like I said, with American Idol or America's Got Talent or The Voice or X Factor.
There are competitions based in music now. I mean, there's like that show Beats Shazam.
Yes.
With Jamie Foxx and his daughter, Corinne, who's the DJ.
Yeah, she's the DJ. He's the host. And that's a competition of guessing songs based on short clips.
There are some people that are really good at that. Like they can be like 1 second into a song and you know exactly the artist name, title, everything. There are people that are fantastic at it.
Not like the first second of the song. They can play, a second or two out of the middle of the song and they immediately know what it is. And that's the premise of the show is they play you a short clip of the song and whoever, buzzes in with the answer first gets the money.
Well, they start off with like a multiple choice.
And they measure it down to hundredths of a second.
Yeah.
As to who, buzzed in, the quickest.
I think it would be fun for us to be involved in that kind of competition because I think that we were just, when we watched an episode or so of that.
I had fun watching it and guessing along.
Yeah.
With the show. I think it would be fun to actually compete on that show.
I think that would be a blast. My problem would be my coordination is not quick enough. Like my reaction time, my brain has already figured it out, but my hand would be like, which button do I push? And
that
like
that
extra
split second of,
seconds.
seeing, the 4 choices on the screen
And matching that to what's already in your head.
Okay, I know what the song is. Which option is it? And being able to hit it. That would be the time.
That
delay,
would be the
not
hard
recognizing
part for me.
the song.
Because my quickness, my reaction of just smacking that button would have been, it would suck.
Making sure you hit the right button, yeah.
Because I would be like, that's the answer. I hit the wrong freaking button. I would totally do that.
And it bounces, all over, from one-hit wonders to, 90s music, to
50s to modern.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing about it is we do love a long range of music.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
from way back when, to the grassroots, of the rock and roll era of the 50s up to modern stuff across, pop, rock, metal, country.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. We like that
even
variety
foreign
of
language
music.
stuff, like Rammstein and
we've discussed this before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can check out our other podcasts on music on a whole discussion on that.
Yeah.
But because we have that kind of wide range of interest, I think that would actually make this kind of show fun for us to be involved.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And it's a show that I intend to, keep tabs on and
just kind of watch when you're casually in the mood.
catch, when we can, along with The Masked Singer. Because
I know.
I'm
That's going to be a regular weekly
I'm
thing.
invested in that one, because, like I said, if they win their competition, they move on and show up either the next week or the week after.
And I'm fairly sure I've nailed another guess on one of those.
So, the people that won, are still in and will still perform, and you've got a chance to try and figure out who they actually are.
Yeah, and the more
And you did.
reveals,
You nailed one of them.
You nailed another one. I came so close.
I've guessed 2
but you got it
so
before
far.
me.
I've gotten 2 so far, and you've guessed 1. Mm-hmm. And there were some that were complete shocks.
Oh, yeah, because we were like, it's absolutely this person, and it was someone completely different. But it made sense once the reveal hit. You're like, oh, that's what that clue meant.
Mm-hmm.
I get it now.
And no, we're not going to give out spoilers and tell you, who has...
No, because that's
been revealed,
water cooler
which
talk
ones,
that
which ones we've
hate
guessed
that kind of
and
thing.
which ones we missed, because we don't like spoilers.
No.
You should go and check out the show and see if you can figure it out.
And the other thing about watching Shazam is the enjoyment interaction between Jamie Foxx and his daughter Corinne. I mean, because Jamie Foxx doesn't need to do this kind of show. He's already famous enough. He's a great performer, a great actor.
Oh yeah, he's a great actor.
I mean,
comedic
he's got
actor.
money.
And yeah, he's
I'm suspecting
he's
that he's
singer.
doing this in support of his daughter's career.
Could be.
And I think it would be fun for a father-daughter to have their own kind of show together and spend time together.
Like I said, he's a good singer, as well, and he's put out stuff. So he's a big fan of music. So it makes sense that he would do a show like this. But yeah, I think, that the father-daughter, chemistry and dynamic on the show is...
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Is really good.
So, I mean, I think they're a good pair. They play off of each other. They talk to each other a lot. It's a great duo, Speaking of great duos, I'm thinking about matching up music to shows now. I mean, I can't not think of like the musicals and stuff that they've brought out live lately. That's the other thing, that's like new shows that are occasionally doing like live musicals. They did Sound of Music live. There's like a whole
like
series of shows. The more
Rent.
recent Rent which just came out, which was
supposed to be live, but
it was supposed to be live.
Due to an accident, they kind of had to go with
one of the performers broke his ankle.
Previously recorded from the night before.
Yeah, that's what dress rehearsals are for.
Yeah, they did a live action, a live Rocky Horror.
The live Rocky Horror was
Picture
interesting.
Show was pretty good.
The one you liked, was it Grease?
The Grease performance was good. The Rocky Horror I liked. The Rent I liked. I was not overly impressed with the Sound of Music. that they did, which was really disappointing because, I mean, Carrie Underwood was involved in that, and she's spectacular.
Yeah.
But
it's like they had all the elements that would have made a good show.
Too much creative license in the way they kind of changed the layout of and format of the performances that lost some of the magic of
the Sound of Music.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of The Christmas Story. Because I never thought a Christmas Story musical would be awesome. But it was. I loved it.
Yeah,
I thought it was great.
Yeah, I was really, surprised at that one because the original movie is not a musical.
But apparently they made a musical out of the show and put it on Broadway, and here we go. You've got a live performance. So.
Yeah. Well, and for stuff like that, it also depends on what your definition of a musical is. And we'd had this conversation a few years back, where you've got, like, all the Disney stuff.
Is Disney
infused, with musical numbers throughout the movie.
So is it a musical?
But there's, actual, speaking parts, and for a lot of people, that's a musical. Same with The Sound of Music.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But then you've got others like Les Mis that, like, the entire movie was in song.
There were bits and pieces
transitional,
that weren't, yeah,
exposition was all in song.
That's like 100% musical. I think there's a good range of blends between them two. I mean, that you could have a musical that does have speaking parts and a musical that doesn't have speaking parts.
Yeah. I mean, and that topic itself, we could, and we can and probably will end up at some point, doing an entire
There's just something
show
I was thinking about. It's like they
on musicals, because, I mean, there are so many good musicals. And yeah, musicals get a bad rap, from a lot of people.
They shouldn't.
But
I mean, when I was young, I was exposed to a lot of good musicals. I mean, I was exposed to Sound of Music, and I'm gonna kick myself.
Well, while you're thinking, like we're saying, they get a bad rap, because, yeah, most everything, Disney these days is a musical. But, you've got, if you go back, a few years, there's some really good musicals, Well, let me take a step back. Musicals get a bad rap as being more female oriented, not stuff that guys, are into or should be into.
See, and that's a wrong viewpoint. That's an old viewpoint.
That straight guys aren't into. And yeah, that's BS, because
I mean, with the advent,
I love them, but
with the advent of like Glee and stuff becoming more popular in mainstream culture, that kind of throws that out the window.
That does.
I'm just saying, it's gone.
My point was, if you can go back a few decades and find some musicals that have some of the manly men of the era in them. Look at Guys and Dolls.
Oh my God, that's one of my favorite ones.
You've got Frank Sinatra.
And Marlon Brando.
Yes.
And yeah, and that's one of my favorite musicals.
And it is a fantastic musical.
And the one I was thinking...
Great songs, great performances.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, it's so worth renting or buying or streaming or something. It absolutely is. But it's, it's all about guys who are guys. And they're gamblers, and they're
the typical
ruffians,
guy of the era.
Of these, what era? 60s, 50s, like old school.
Probably.
Maybe older than that.
It's
sort of the
based
gangster
on,
era.
Comments, it's like.
But not really.
Well, not quite that early. It feels it's post World War II.
Yeah.
So I would say probably either late 40s or early 50s.
But it's basically they're a bunch of gamblers and drunks, and they love to
degenerates.
Basically degenerates that date dancers, and all this kind of stuff. And Marlon Brando kind of falls for a girl that's, you know, roots for the Salvation Army and morals and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he puts down a bet that he can get this girl to go to Havana with him, which actually is a euphemism for going to bed, but that's like a whole other thing. They actually go to Havana, like physically.
Yes.
Anyway, but it's a fun kind of guys versus girls musical, and it's just it's great. It's well done. It's well written. It's well performed. It's worth watching. And you know, some of those that that's one of those like I got exposed to when I was younger. Like my parents watched it at one point. And my mom loved Fiddler on the Roof, and that's one that I exposed you to.
Yes. Another one of them that I absolutely love, and could sit and just listen to the songs over and over.
It's a bit tragic in its own way. I mean, it's a bit of a tragedy and like the struggle of a parents and how they're dealing with the next generation of people.
Time frame.
But it's a universal kind of struggle of we live in rough times. We have to deal with what we're dealing with, and my kids are a new generation of people with different thoughts and feelings and traditions. And yeah, you just get involved and you love it, and it's a good musical.
Oh yeah, it's good, you know, well balanced, you know, between, you know, the male characters and female characters. You know,
and Fiddler on the Roof it's much about the Jewish faith as well.
Yes.
So you do learn a lot.
Jewish faith and tradition and lifestyle.
Back when they were in, I want to say Russia.
They were in Russia.
Yeah, at the turn of age and when they were pushing people out of the country and stuff like that. But it's a really good musical.
Yeah,
I love that one.
You know and talking about, you know, changing age and new ideas and whatnot. Back to Grease.
Yeah.
John Travolta, you know, Olivia Newton-John. Great pairing in that movie.
And that was more like, that is very epitome of the 50s, you know, mentality of boys and girls and how they
it also dealt with, you know, changing of attitudes, you know, of the era.
That's true. Yeah.
And, you know, turning around, you know, Sandy from, you know, being the, you know, meek little cheerleader type, you know.
Into, you know, I can change myself for this guy if I want to. Or he can change himself for me.
You know, changes.
And he changed himself into
and they kind of meet in the middle. Yeah.
And they meet in the middle. Yeah, it's all about change and development and like character, you know.
Yeah.
Building. And I feel like musicals are a good way to do that. But those are the ones that come on TV now, and I'm really hooked and waiting to see what they bring out next as far as the live musicals they're doing on TV now. I want to see more of those. I do. I want to see more of them. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's more that have been good than have been bad.
Well, because.
And they really haven't been bad, just.
There's different.
Well, like I said, The Sound of Music was less than what I expected. Because I've loved The Sound of Music, you know, since I was a kid.
Yeah. And it's hard to blow your expectations away with something.
Whenever you've got somebody like, you know, Carrie Underwood going in, you know, playing, you know, the Julie Andrews role, you expect it to be really good because it's a great role and she's a great singer. But like I said, the creative license they took, you know, with structuring the performances, in my opinion, left a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they'll, you know, do a modern interpretation of like West Side Story.
That would be kind of neat.
Which was, you know, at the time was, you know,
that was another
modern interpretation of Romeo and Juliet, you know, sort of situation.
Yeah. But it could be updated. It looks like the next one they're going to do is Hair, which was another one that was like, Hair was in the 60s, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it was the 60s. It was a civil rights era, you know, sort of thing of, you know, how they couldn't have African American men on TV and stuff like that, and how that dating between the two was bad. And I think that's the same show that they're going to have coming up next. Apparently, they're going to have a Jesus Christ Superstar on Easter Sunday. How appropriate!
Okay, that could definitely be interesting.
Oh my god!
We'll have to check on that. See, a lot of those
I honestly think I've avoided Jesus Christ Superstar. Like, I've never actually sat and watched it.
I don't think I have either. I'm sure there are people out there,
heard of some music from it.
are freaking out because, we've never seen it.
I will watch religious related programming, and I'm not going to go too much into that, but I mean, the closest I get to stuff like that is going to be Life of Brian or...
Yeah, parodies.
Is parodies? I've seen... Oh, what was the one they had, the Christ movie that was too realistic? That kind of stuff.
Oh, the Passion of the Christ?
I saw the Passion of the Christ and stuff like that, but it's just, okay. I don't want to do it too realism.
Honestly, I don't know enough
so I don't
about
know
Jesus
if
Christ
Jesus Christ Superstar
to know
is
what to expect.
Is a musical of that?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know enough about it. I've never seen it.
That's going to be an adventure.
It's one of those that's never really come up as,
but
a choice. So
I'll check it out.
I've never seen it, and I've never deliberately sought it out to
I'm
see
curious, I'm curious. And that's why we watch these shows, is because we're curious. You see a commercial for Masked Singer, you're curious about it. You see, Shazam, the commercial, you're like, oh, I'm curious about that. And that's what really kind of gets you in. It's like, you just see a snippet, you see it on Facebook, you see a message from a friend.
Something
your friend tells you, hey, this would be a show you're interested in seeing.
And
it's all about curiosity. I mean, these kind of shows are just go, hey, check this out. So, that's pretty normal for me. Just a lot of curiosity.
Yeah.
I'm curious what's going to come next.
I don't know. Every time they come up with one of these, live musicals, about twice a year, maybe?
It seems to be on a special occasion, or, Christmas, apparently Easter.
Yeah,
coming up.
At least they've been doing them at least, one a year for the last, 3 or 4 years. But
that's pretty normal for any theater. Most theater performances are 4 times a year. They try to run a new performance. They run it for a couple months, and then they move on to another one. So that's not very unusual as far as pacing goes.
Yeah, and when we hear about them, we,
oh, yeah.
make an effort.
The one we missed that I wanted to see so bad was Wicked, because we saw Wicked live in actual theater. So we missed the live performance that came on TV, and I really wish I had seen that.
Well, because I didn't know anything about it. I
forgot about it. It's like
that's what I was saying. If we, when we hear about them, we, make an effort to set aside the time to watch them. We'll watch them. We'll, enjoy them. We'll talk about them, for a few days, and then we just kind of sit around and wait for the next one to show up.
I'll stop and
never
watch
really,
any show.
put an effort into looking to see what they're going to do next, or we just end up hearing about them as they start, promoting them, commercially, snippets and,
I'll stop and watch any show that somebody mentions. Like, if you say, hey, this show would be really good, you might enjoy it, I'll go check it out. I'll see at least 1 or 2, see if I'm interested, see if it hooks me, and I'll watch it. That's how you get and you learn these things, because there's tons of shows out there. There's more than you have time to watch. More than one person has time to watch.
Well, if you're talking just overall good shows, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff, scattered across multiple networks, but if you're talking, like we are now, about musical shows, competitions.
I'm sure there's more that we haven't even mentioned that we maybe haven't come across yet.
There could be that we haven't run into, or that we're completely forgetting about,
and
have never seen.
If anyone listening knows of any shows that we're missing or we're forgetting about, or that we should go check out, please let us know.
Yeah, throw it in the comments.
Send a message on Facebook.
Below the video.
Messages on Twitter, and it's all under Udder Twaddle with the double D's. I'm gonna stick with that. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but we're gonna go with
comments, down below, or throw it at us, on Facebook, Twitter, wherever.
And again, like everybody does, like, subscribe, hit buttons. Lots of buttons. Ring the cowbell. Yes. Do all that stuff. Just as a reminder.
Throw a like out there.
Share the video. Say, hey, check this out. Listen to this conversation. You don't necessarily have to watch the video, but you can.
Yeah.
We do have a tendency to pair things up interestingly.
Yes.
Between our conversations and the video.
But if, like she said, if there's something we're forgetting about, let us know. We enjoy the fun music stuff.
And I'm a curious person, so if you hand me something and go, hey, check this out, I will go check it out. I like that.
Yep.
A lot.
Almost always up for trying something new. I'll try just about anything once. Twice to make sure I, really enjoyed it. 3 times because it's become habit.
And then forever and more.
But yeah, tried, pretty much anything once.
I'm the same way.
Well, I guess that pretty much covers everything for this week.
Yep.
I think.
What should we talk about in the future?
Wait and see what the next Masked Singer episode holds.
Oh, the next coming weeks, we've got so many things going on. We've got another Dungeons and Dragons game coming on. The Oscars are coming up.
Yes, the Oscars are coming up. And
we've got...
we will have to formulate our predictions.
Horror movie to watch next. Sorry, a friend mentioned a horror movie, and she's like, "You're gonna love this. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it." And I'm like, "Okay, well, let's go watch it."
Yes,
I don't have a problem
definitely up
with
for spooky movies.
Spooky. Oh, that's a nod to Pat and Jen for that one. Spooky.
Yeah. Spooky. Yes, I love horror flicks.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will catch you another time. And and we're looking into a game that we're gonna play. We'll talk about that another time.
Yes, we have some.
We are interested in a new game coming out.
Gaming prospects coming out in the next couple of weeks.
I'm super excited.
Yes.
Okay, we might actually have some more videos coming out in the nearish future.
Yes.
Based on some gameplay footage, which just because we like to play games, so why not?
So yeah, keep an eye on the Facebook page. There will be notifications and
it will be posted under
up.
UdderTwaddle. So if you subscribe to this channel, you will get a notification that other things are coming out. So
yeah,
more playlists.
Yep, more coming in the future.
All right. Well, again, I'm Cowpatty.
I'm Commando.
And we will see you another time.
Bye.